So let's get started in a seated position. If you have glasses, you can remove them just so that there's nothing on the face. And sometimes glasses also, when you remove them, your eyes can relax a little easier. Closing the eyes so that you can feel your body from the inside. Nothing distracting you visually. And feel the breath rhythm. Inhale and exhale of your breath. And as you breathe, feel also a settling into the base of your body. Becoming aware of the ground, the earth beneath you. Becoming aware of the space above you and around you. And then beginning to scan the body and releasing any areas where you're holding tension. And typical areas where we hold tension can be in the hips and buttocks, shoulders, and often we hold tension in the facial muscles. Finding that quality of uprightness, where you feel tall and long through the spinal column. Broad and wide across your chest and shoulders. And then bring your awareness to breathing and feeling breath through your nostrils. And we'll spend a few more moments just feeling yourself from the inside. And then as you're ready, opening the eyes. We'll start with a breathing and stretching exercise. Inhale, reaching the arms up, stretching the spine. Exhale, rounding the spine, reaching the arms forward. Inhale, opening the chest, pressing your shoulder blades together as you interlock behind your back. And exhale, release. Now moving at your own pace. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, behind you. Exhale and release. And again. And one more time. Good. And now we're going to reach and stretch the arms upward, but we're going to hold this position and breathe as we stretch the spine. And then open the arms wide and let them relax. We're going to shrug the shoulders up and down. Moving slowly, contracting, releasing. Not only the shoulders, but feel the movement of your shoulder blades. One more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. We're going to get into the shoulder joint. Arms out wide. Make a fist. Thumbs up. Thumbs point down. And then they turn as far back as you're able. And you just continue this movement. Ooh, I can feel it's really sticky and a little bit awkward in my left shoulder. Notice what's happening in your shoulder joint. A few more times. And then release. We're going to come into a seated twist. So let's bring our right hand behind us, turning towards the right side. Left hand can rest on your knee. And feeling the twist through the abdomen and torso. And also through the spine and back. Hopefully you had enough time to digest your breakfast. If not, just do the twist a little with less effort. And then let's unwind and release. Coming to the other side, one hand behind you, the opposite hand on the knee, turning and twisting through the belly and abdomen. Feeling the twist in the front and back of the body. Breathing, you can feel your breath perhaps a little more deeply in your rib cage. And then unwind and release. Head tips over to one side. Opposite fingertips move away. or a stretch for the side of the neck. When I was exclusively teaching in person, I would do the left, but I would say I was to do the right so that students could follow me easily. When I was on Zoom, it changed. I could do left and I could speak about doing the left side. And now that I'm teaching both, I find it a little confusing. So let your head roll down through center and into a neutral position. But if I say come to the other side, then I know I'll get it right. So come to the other side of this side stretch. Breathing into the side of the neck. Often a place where we hold tension. Especially with the habits of modern life. And then head rolls down into center and come up into neutral. And now fingertips at your sides. We're coming into a side stretch. Reach one arm up and lean over to the opposite side. And breathe into your rib cage and armpits. And then let's come back into center and we'll switch sides, reaching the other arm up and leaning over to the other side. And feel into your rib cage and your armpit area. And then coming back into center. And then let's bring both hands onto one thigh and circle around the thigh. And as you do this circling movement, even if it's a small circling movement, you're feeling into the torso and back. And in the opposite direction. And then the opposite thigh or the other thigh. Circling in a slow way, feeling the back area. And in both directions. And coming back into center. If you're sitting on a cushion, you can remove it as we bring the feet in front and rotate the knees from one side to the other side. And we feel this through the hip area. And then let's come into butterfly pose with the soles of the feet together and the knees moving up and down at a pace that suits you. Being aware of what you're feeling through the hip joint, the inner thighs, and your low back. So now let's extend our legs. And if you need to lean back into the hands, you can, or if it helps you to be upright, make a fist with your toes, curling the toes in and then stretching and spreading them. A few times where you're curling them in, stretching and creating space between your toes. We're going to work on all the small and big joints of the body. Now we're going to change the movement of pointing and flexing. Toes pointing away from you, and then the toes pointing towards you. Not only the feet are stretching, but also the leg muscles. And one more time. And now we circle the feet and warm up the ankle joint. And in the opposite direction. And now we'll have the feet in a neutral position. We'll bring our hand underneath of the knee. Deep breath in. Exhale, bend your knee and bring your head towards your knee. Inhale, extend your leg. Exhale, nose and forehead towards the knee. Again, extend. Exhale, knee towards nose and forehead. And one more time, extending on the inhale and drawing the thigh and knee towards nose and forehead on the exhale. Let's try the other side. Extend and then bend. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. And one more time, inhale, extend. Exhale, bend. Good. So now let's come into a toe stretch, a toe and foot stretch, tucking all of the toes under. And if it's too difficult, taking the weight out of the feet and into the hands by bringing your weight forward onto the hands. You can rest your hands on your thighs, or you can bring them together in front of the heart. And then let's release our feet and toes, give them a little bit of a break. Tap them so that circulation comes back into the toes and feet. And now we're going to come into a standing forward bend, allowing the upper body to fold forward over the legs. The knees are soft. Upper body is relaxed. And your feet are slightly active. What I mean by that is they are slightly pressing into the floor without creating tension in the feet. So finding just the right amount of effort to engage your foot, the arches of the feet. Now we're going to slowly roll up into standing. Draw the abdomen in as you slowly roll up. And once we're up, we're going to strengthen the feet and activate the legs by reaching up as we come up onto the toes, lifting the heels. If you come out of balance, not to worry. And exhale, releasing the arms down and the heels down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, lowering down. Let's do that 3 times with the breath. Good, and then just take a moment to feel. So next we're going to do toe walking and heel walking. We did this maybe last week. We're going to interlock the hands, palms facing up to the sky. Stretch your arms skyward, lift up onto your toes, and now you're going to walk around the room that you're in. We're going to walk for about a minute. We're lifting the heels and we're stretching the arms, stretching the whole body, stretching the spine, walking on the toes. Breathing, and your breathing might quicken, your heartbeat might quicken. And find your way back to your mat. We will lower the heels down and release the arms. Take a moment just to feel and notice what we feel. I'm definitely feeling warmer. So now we're going to do heel walking. The same position of the hands, palms facing skyward, reaching the arms skyward, lifting the toes, and now we walk on the heels. This is a little bit harder. Your steps might be a little bit smaller, but you're going to continue to walk around the room. Keep stretching the arms upward. Keep breathing and notice what's happening to your breath. And find your way back. Allow your toes to relax down. Allow your arms to relax down. And take a few moments to feel. We're going to come to the back of our mat and roll down just like we rolled up. Head down, shoulders forward. We're curling the upper back and the middle back and the lower back. And then at a certain point, the whole body becomes heavy, 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 heavy as we hinge forward into our forward fold. Take a few breaths. And then you're going to walk the hands forward and come onto the hands and knees. So let's stretch the front of the body, looking upward, and stretch the back of the body, looking downward, rounding the spine. Move at your own pace. One more time. And now we'll settle back to the heels, resting in child's pose. Head towards the ground, even if it doesn't reach, chest towards the thighs. And then let's come back onto the hands and knees. We're gonna come into a movement for the hips, lifting the knee and ankle out to the side and lowering down. And alternating. And complete an equal number on both sides. And then let's bring the knees wider than the width of the hips. Bring the toes together and sink back into child's pose. Buttocks towards the heels. Maybe it reaches, maybe it doesn't. Chest and head towards the ground. And then slowly roll up. So next we're going to come into a twisting version of cat pose. We've done this before. If your shoulder doesn't reach the ground and your head is not touching the ground, then that's when you can use a prop. So reach one hand forward and then slide the other arm through and rest your shoulder and head either on the ground or onto a pillow. This is creating a twist. Now you can really let your body settle and just feel. Feel this twist. Breathe into this twist. And then we'll unwind, come back into center and round the spine. Breathe into a rounded back. And then extend the front of the body, stretch all the way upward, even the eyes looking upward. And find a neutral position for the spine. And then come to the other side. So one hand will reach forward and the other arm will slide through, resting the side of your head and the shoulder down. And coming into this cat twist. And then feeling where it's awkward and uncomfortable, how can you use your breath to find ease? And then let's unwind, round the spine, take a few breaths into your rounded back. Extend the spine, take a few breaths into stretching the front of the body. And sink back towards the heels and rest. And then let's slowly roll up. Next, we're going to come to the front of the mat to do some warming exercises for the core and the abdomen. So we'll start with boat pose. Hands underneath of the knees, lean back, allow your feet to come off the floor. Maybe they'll come to the height of the knees. Maybe you'll hang on to the legs, or maybe you'll reach your hands forward. You're not holding your breath. And then release your feet down. You can relax your abdomen and take a few breaths. And again, you can do the same position or you can make it a little bit more challenging. Just see where you're at and what works for you this morning. And then release your feet down, relax the abdomen. And one more time. This really engages the deep muscles that really help to hold us upright, taking the pressure off of the back muscles. And then release. The next one is something we haven't done for a while. Let's have the heels on the ground and hold onto your toes with each of your hands. And then as you're ready, work towards extending one leg and work towards extending the other leg. Maybe your leg will straighten, maybe it won't. And you're alternating. And one more time. Good. So you're at the front of your mat and you're going to lower down onto your back. And once you're on your back, just take a moment to let the body release into the ground. So you're not holding yourself up. And next is bridge pose. Our bridge pose is going to start with just the pelvis and legs, and then we'll add the arms. So feet hip width apart. Inhale, lifting the pelvis upward. Exhale, lowering the pelvis down. Continue this movement of lifting and lowering. The next time we lift, we can add the arms, lifting the pelvis and the arms. The arms will reach to the floor behind you. And then we lower the arms and we lower the pelvis. And then you can choose if you want to continue this moving bridge pose, or if you want to stay in position for about half a minute or about 5 breaths. And then we'll all bring the whole body back down. And hug the knees in. This provides a nice counter stretch for the back, the low back. So next we'll bring the hands underneath of the body for abdominal leg lifts. Legs extend upward and lower down. Maybe you'll bend the knees and extend, or you can lower and lift with the legs straight. You can see what works best for you. And then lowering the legs all the way down, releasing the hands from underneath you and letting the body relax. So next we're going to roll onto our front. And let's bring let's come onto the elbows and hold on to each elbow with each hand and let the head relax down. So what we're going to do now is we're going to lift the abdomen. So we're now resting on the elbows, forearms, and knees. Head lifts a little bit. So we're really using the abdomen here, core muscles, and then lower down. Let's try that one more time. Lifting. And then lowering. And then release. Release your head down. let's turn our heads to one side and hold on to the foot. Pressing the heel towards you and feeling the thigh. And then release and turn to the other side, both your head, and change the leg. So you're holding the opposite leg. And then release. And then let's practice our cobra. So the hands underneath of the shoulders, chin or forehead down. As we breathe in, press your pelvis into the floor and lift your head and chest. As you exhale, lower the body down. And you're going to practice this movement with your breath, making sure that you're not pushing the hands into the floor. You're using your back muscles. You're keeping your elbows close to your rib cage. And then lower the whole body down. Release your hands beside you. Now we're going to bring the feet closer together. You can touch the feet together or feet can be apart. See what works best for you. Interlock your hands behind the back. And now the whole body lifts and we breathe in this position. And then release. And then let's press back onto the hands and knees and slowly shift our way back to the heels. Resting in child's pose. And coming back onto the hands and knees. We're going to alternate cat pose and downward dog. So we're going to come into the upward facing cat. And then we're going to tuck the toes, lift the knees, and press the body back towards the thighs in downward dog. So you can alternate at your own pace. And next time you come into downward dog, we'll stay in this position. Taking a few slow, deep breaths. And then we're going to walk the hands towards the feet, coming into a standing forward fold. just like we did at the beginning of class. Your feet and toes are slightly active. They're not tense, but they're active. The abdomen draws in and your legs engage as you slowly roll up. And once we're up, we'll step the feet wide apart. And then we're going to turn both of our feet in one direction. So I'm going to turn both of my feet in this direction, and I'm going to bend the knee and make sure that I can still see my big toe and the other toes. So we're going to continue straightening the leg, bending the knee. You're pressing into both feet at the same time. And we're warming up for our warrior position. Next time you come into this position, we can stay here, float the arms up, and look over in the same direction as the bent knee. This requires leg strength and flexibility. So next we're going to bring our hand maybe onto our ankle or towards the ground, and we're going to come into a side stretch, reaching the arm right beside our ear. And then let's come back up, straighten the leg, relax the arms. And let's turn our feet to the other side, bending the knee, making sure we can see our toes, straightening and bending. You're pressing into both feet, both legs, warming up for our warrior pose. And then once you feel warmed up, ready to come into this as a pose, you can float the arms up and turn your head to look in the same direction as the bent knee. And then if you are ready, you can bring your hand to rest on your ankle and reach the other arm up towards your ear. And then let's come back into our starting position, straightening the leg and turning the feet towards center. And let's walk our feet into a position where they're hip width apart. So we'll do some movement for the hips. We're going to come into a balance. It might be helpful here for you to be close to a wall so that you can use the wall for support. We're going to step onto one foot and leg and create a circular movement of the knee. And in both directions. And then let's do the other side. So again, you can be close to a wall. That can be helpful as you make a circular movement for the knee. and both directions. And then relax. And our hip movement, that's hip clock. So our feet are in, we imagine that we're in the center of a clock, and we shift our weight to our left foot, and our right foot reaches towards 12 o'clock, outward towards 3 o'clock, behind us towards 6 o'clock, over and across towards 9 o'clock, and back to center. Now I'll just do it sideways so you can see. Now it's the other foot reaching towards 12, then towards 9, then towards 6, over and across to 3, and back to center. Let's do that again on both sides. Front, side, back, and across. Front, side, back, and across. Good. There's one movement we haven't done. We've done side bending and twisting and forward bending and backward bending. Actually, now we're going to do side bending and standing. So interlock your hands, first finger and thumb together. Reach your arms up to the sky and bend towards your left. And back to center and bend towards your right. And back to center, and let both arms relax. We often do this next one in sitting, but today we're going to do it in standing. Interlock your hands, palms can face towards you, or they can face away, and 3 circles in both directions. And then relax. Good, let's come down into sitting. If you're used to using a cushion like I do when I'm sitting, you can grab your cushion to support you. And we're going to extend our right leg out to the side. We'll turn our torso over our right leg. And maybe sitting tall is enough of a stretch, or hinging or leaning forward. And then just giving time for the body to respond as we stretch the back of the leg. And then let's slowly come back up and switch sides. So now we're going to extend our left leg, turn our torso over the left leg, either sitting tall or leaning forward. And a slow breath now. We're slowing things down, preparing for our final pose in a few moments. And then slowly coming back up. And now let's come to the front of the mat. Maybe you want to grab some extra layers. We're going to do one more pose lying down. But this is a time when your body will cool down. And if you would like to wear some socks or grab a blanket or sweater. So coming onto your back, taking a moment once you're there just to feel the floor beneath you. And then let's bring our feet up, knees bent. We're coming into an inverted squat. Maybe you'll hold on to your feet, your toes, the outer edge of your feet, or maybe the backs of the knees. You can decide what works best in this inverted squat, upside down squat. And then as you're ready, bringing your knee, bending your knees and feet and hugging your knees and rolling gently towards one side and back to center and the other side, rolling a few times to really bring attention and awareness into the back of the body. And then allowing your feet to come to the floor and relaxing or extending your legs, finding a comfortable position for our relaxation where we give the body time to integrate, digest all that we've done. Feeling the body relaxed and aware of the movement and rhythm of breath. Allowing thoughts to settle and resting in your heart. listening to the sounds that you hear around you. Deepening your breath, allowing your head to move from one side to the other. Stretching your arms, stretching right through to your heels, the whole body stretching as you yawn or sigh. And then release. And roll onto your side. And come up into sitting. And take a moment just to notice what feels different in your body. And to send out a thought, a wish for the well-being and peace, for harmony in our world, for all the things that all beings deeply long for. And we are privileged that most of us have that. Thank you for coming to class. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and hopefully we'll see you again soon.